City commissioners discussed the Portland police response to protests over the past year and a half. Now, they voted unanimously to approve a report by the Crowd Control and Use of Force Work Group. Liz Birch was in that city council meeting today, and she's been closely following the debate surrounding police response to riots and protests. And she joins us live right now. Liz?
Jenny, that's all right. Now, I want to be clear. The city says just because they did vote to accept that report does not mean that they'll necessarily be implementing the recommendations made in that report. So this is really just a chance for discussion between that group and the city commissioners. I want to show you some video right now. The group recommended creating a plan to mitigate the risks to public health in the event of chemical weapon use. They also say council should make the existing ban on the PPP use of CS gas permanent and extend it to other chemicals. They say PPP should avoid less lethal munitions and adopt soft clothes instead of riot gears for protests. Commissioner Mapp spoke up with questions specifically about that last recommendation.
But I am curious if you looked at the number of police officers who were injured during these protests. I don't have that data in front of me for the Portland City Police, but I see just online the feds, who also managed some of these protests, claimed that 144 federal officers who were certainly kitted out in riot gear and whatnot were injured. And so one of the things I'm trying to figure out is which in what situations should we have them in protective clothing?
Members of the group responded to that, saying it's a nuanced situation. They also say police need to do a better job with de-escalating, and the group presented in the report that they found there was bias in favor of right-wing groups and against POC protesters and the press. Now, other commissioners also asked the group questions about that report, but as we mentioned, they did ultimately vote to accept it. We have embedded that entire report on KOIN.com if you want to read it for yourself. Live in Portland tonight, Liz Birch, KOIN 6 News.